Hello, it is Saturday, October 28th, 2023. I'm Chris Remo, and welcome back to the New York Times Crossword Daily Solve. It is a Saturday crossword today, which means we're going to be solving what may well be a tricky, themeless puzzle full of misdirection and challenge. And this potentially challenging and misdirecting edition of the Daily Solve has been brought to us by William Arundel, Adam and Annette Noble, Emma Smith, and as always, the indomitable Showmaster and the incredible Horan family. So thank you so much to the five of them, benefactors of the Daily Solve Patreon campaign, for their generous support. They do keep this whole thing going. They sustain this channel and this series. I'm very grateful to them for that. And if you'd like to support the channel in that way, you can head over to patreon.com/dailysolve or click the link in the description field underneath the video. And there, of course, you'll find the bonus videos available to patrons, as well as the official mug. And those bonus videos include yesterday's mini puzzle pseudo speed solve. Hardly a pseudo speed solve at this time. Contained possibly my most disastrous mini solve of all time. One of my, just a terrible solve. And also today I will be posting the latest Buzzwords Fall Themeless League competition puzzle to the Patreon, which went much better than that mini puzzle, strangely. So anyway, there we go. Those are available to patrons. And thanks to all of them. And if you'd like to support the channel in another way, you could subscribe or like the videos. That's a big help. And finally, there's the Daily Solve Discord chat server, which you can join via a description field link as well. It's a nice, friendly chat community, so do consider checking that out. All right. Well, having said all that, let's get on to the crossword. This is a Saturday themeless puzzle by Ryan McCarty. And he's constructed a couple of dozen puzzles for the New York Times. So let's see. Oh, and it was edited as always by Will Shorts, of course. So let's see what we've got in store for us on this themeless Saturday, and let's start solving. Had kids on a farm. My first thought was calved, but then I realized kids might be referring to sheep or goats. Let's see. So lambed, maybe. Ultimately arrive at. Well, my first thought was land on or land at, which would work with lambed, but the at actually isn't going to be part of the answer because it's in this parenthetical bit, so we'll append it to the answer. So, oh, no, never mind. I thought I had it, but I don't. Okay, product whose main ingredient is canola oil. In 3 letters, I'm guessing Pam, which is a cooking spray. Let's see if that works. Opposite of Gera. So Gera and similar words in many European languages is war. So this would be peace. So not pax, but paz, I think. Subject for, let's just keep checking these things. Subject for conservationist Diane Fossey. She's known for her work with apes. So that I'm fairly confident in. Socceroo. Does this mean a kind of punch or? Not sure about that one. Oratorio highlight in ABA form. Oh, that's interesting. So this is a musical clue. But I'm not sure what we're looking at. An oratorio is a musical form. Let's see. What about this? Alien. I kind of wanted to end with an R, a somethinger, but Socceroo. Yeah, I don't know. Tricky puzzle so far for me. All right, what about this one? Scan in neuroscience research in brief. Something MRI? I don't know. I'm not sure about that. Tongue lash. To ream somebody, maybe? Word like cafe or bazaar. What on earth? What connects those words? Marginally. A bit, a tad. Declines. Demurs, maybe? I don't know that that's actually, I don't know that you should use that in exactly the same way, so that might not be right. All over something. A bit of a tire that often has strings. Bit of a tire that often has strings. Not sure. Complete pandemonium. Boy, I'm not confident about anything over here. Need to find a better way into this puzzle. MLB, well, it's not going to be this. MLB team with a mascot named Orbit. Okay, well, I didn't find anything to help me with this, unlike with Pam, so probably can't put it in. Okay, confit ingredient. So confit is when, typically it's when well, I was going to say a meat, but it could be any food in theory, is cooked very low in oil, in a fat, but usually it's meat in its own fat, like duck confit. So I guess in that case it would be duck fat. So let's see if that helps. Oh, footnote abbreviation. Look, sit. I've seen this before, certainly. I don't remember what it actually stands for. Someone will tell me in the comments. What may be collected in trials? Data would be collected in, say, a health trial or something. To instruct someone would be to. Oh, why don't I see what this is immediately? Left arrow, often. Back button, maybe? On a website, a left arrow is often a back button, or a browser, actually, and I'm looking at one now in my browser. Tool used in meat pie preparation. A crimper? To sort of crimp the edges of the pie. That's more of a sort of pasty thing than a pie, I suppose. Although I suppose pies can be crimped. Get going. Ultimately arrive at. Right, this really does look like land on, doesn't it? But it can't be, because you wouldn't say land on at. Oh, but this does look like lambed with that B. Okay. So ultimately arrive at. I just can't think. That's so frustrating. Get going. Tool used in meat pie preparation with an M. A mincer, to mince the meat? Is there a tool called a mincer? I'm not certain about that. Let's check these crosses. Paddington Bear's place of origin before arriving in England. Oh, right. Famously, Paddington Bear was Peruvian. There we go. Words of warning in the grocery aisle. Words of warning. Don't think I know what that is. Oh. End up, ultimately arrive at, end up at. I mean, that would work, but again, we've got this extra L, so it's not helpful. If this were a U in some way, words of warning. Oh, use by. A use by date would be a word of warning in the grocery aisle. There we go. So, no, I was going to say lead up at. That doesn't make any sense. Ultimately arrive at. Land up at? That doesn't sound like anything. Get going. Oh, to arouse somebody, to get them going. Oh, that's yeah, I mean, it's not really misdirection technically, but it's not the first, it's probably not the first meaning of this you'd think of. So it's a clever, subtle clue in that regard. Alien. I feel as though there are things there that I should be getting that I'm not. Oh, Ario da Capo. Oratorio highlight in ABA form. There we go. I'm not going to pretend I would have known that without the crosses, but I recognize it now that I do have some of the crosses. Okay, well, there we go. Oh, so to instruct somebody is to edify them, to teach them something. There we go. That's fine. Alien. Non-citizen. There we go. Right. Okay, so ultimately arrive at is to land up at. Okay, it is that. I don't recognize that as a phrase at all. But I feel it must be the answer because the rest of these crosses I'm very confident in. So there we go. That's what it is. Socceroo. Yeah, I don't know what that is. Declines. Stretchers go on top of them. Beds? Would you put a... That doesn't make any sense. I'm thinking of a medical stretcher, but that's probably not the correct sense. Blank Rack, 2015 Spike Lee film Chirac. Portmanteau of Chicago and Iraq. Head covering... question mark. So something punny is going on there. Your scalp or something like that? Or it might be a different meaning entirely. Certain onslaught on social media. A troll army or a troll... I bet it'll be a troll something. Maybe, I mean, maybe not, but let's check. Napper's request. Napper's request. I don't know. Without getting beat. Home of a parliament on Parliament Hill. Parliament Hill. Well, presumably it's an English language speaking country with a parliament. So it could be Canada, Australia, New Zealand, probably not Ireland, because they don't call it their parliament, call it the Dáil. Australia, New Zealand, Canada. It's probably one of those. Ottawa, Canada, maybe that would fit in 6 letters. Canberra wouldn't fit. Let's try that. Head covering. Don't know what that is. What about this? Certain onslaught on social media. Truth something? Certain onslaught. I just have no idea what that is. I'm sure I will when I see it. First base, question mark. First base. So something punny is going on here. Is it mathematical maybe with base? Athlete prone to nerves in slang. Boy, this is a tough one so far for me. Stretchers go on top of them. Well, probably ends with an S. Okay, this is an MLB team. I have no idea. Yeah, unfortunately. Okay. Cut corners, perhaps. Gives a heads up without getting beat. Okay, what have I not yet seen? Philosopher and activist who wrote Race Matters. Cornel West? Yes, okay. I would have maybe thought 2 L's, but fortunately the W disabused me of that. Although I guess the total letter count would have anyway. Okay, gives a head up. Okay, well that ends with an S. That's encouraging. Oops. Socceroo. Monster. Oh, a monster hit? That could well be a phrase. That was a real monster hit, a socceroo. Yeah, I could see someone saying that. Declines with an S. Says no? You decline an offer? Tongue lash. That one I'm not sure still. Complete pandemonium. Oh, a scene, a big scene? Bit of a tire that often has strings. Okay, I was wondering if this was going to be strap something, but actually both of these now rule that out. I think I had something here before that allowed that to be the case. No, I don't remember what it was. Oh, it was... No, I don't remember what I had that I thought that would be the case. Okay, well, it doesn't matter. Marginally, I think, might start with A. So a tongue lash is... I don't know. Complete pandemonium. Big scene. Does that help you with anything? Marginally. No. No. Oh, a mob scene. Yes, that is a phrase. The reason I thought of that is because I was thinking this could still be something MRI. So what if this were an M? And people might say that was a complete mob scene. It was a total mob scene. It was complete pandemonium. That sounds right. So is this maybe some sort of MRI? All over something. Oh, you're into it. You're all over it. That could be it. Bit of a tire that often has strings. Oh, some kind of hat? Is it one of those sort of Western kind of hats? Word like cafe or bazaar. Oops. Certainly not a cue there. I can be confident of that. So marginally is a bit. Maybe it is a rain hat. Tongue lash. Oof, I don't know what kind of MRI this is. That's the problem. Oh, bray? No. Word like cafe or bazaar. What do I think this is? To tongue lash. Oh, to flay? This is what, like a functional MRI or something? I've definitely seen this before. fMRI. That sounds familiar. Now that I have it in there. Oh, these are loan words. Of course, they're words that we've adopted from another language. Ah, that's very obvious in retrospect. So this is a rain hat. Okay, I didn't know that phrase, but there we go. Let's move on. Stretchers go on top of them. Cots, or why would that be the case? Gives a heads up. Advises. No, advises doesn't fit. Gives a heads up. I'm going to give you a heads up. I'm going to alerts. Oh, mats, as in yoga mats, not stretchers like the medical device, but people literally stretching. Okay, great. Head covering. Question mark. Not sure. MLB team with a mascot named Orbit, and then singer on the 1960s hits Wooly Bully and Little Red Riding Hood. Oh, I'm not sure. I'll probably recognize the name, but I don't remember who this is. Okay, so the certain onslaught on social media is... Oh, Twitter rant, right. The onslaught. I was thinking it was an onslaught of people, but no, it's an onslaught of posts by a particular person. There we go. Okay. Cut corners, perhaps. I don't know. Oh, the Astros. That would make sense. That's a team, I think. Houston Astros, maybe? That would make sense with a mascot named Orbit. I wonder what it is. Is it a planet or something? Head covering. Why do I not see it? Looks like treat or something. But I'm not sure. This looks like it ends at home. First base. Okay, yeah. A home is a base. So a starter home. Oh, that's a very clever clue. So starter home, maybe the first home you buy would be your first base of operations, so to speak. Okay, cut corners, perhaps. And perhaps. So this doesn't literally mean cut corners. This could be an example of that. I don't know. Without getting beat. Napper's request. Awake me? That sounds plausible. Athlete prone to nerves in slang. Oh, something that ends in a something tist. Sam, someone. What about this? Blank of poetry, beverage in North mythology that turns its drinker into an all-knowing scholar must be the mead of poetry. That's interesting. So cut corners. Oh, and this could be past tense, of course. I hadn't really thought about that. Mitered? Is this a kind of like woodworking thing? Oh, toilet seat. Oh, I should have gotten that before. That's really clever. So the head is the toilet. That's very good. Maybe this is mitered. That does. I'm pretty sure that is a thing you do in some sort of craft. So like a mitered corner. That sounds right to me. Oh, something artist. Athlete prone to nerves. A a choke artist? I've never heard this before, but they choke up. Does that rhyme with something? Choke artist. I'm not sure, but it sounds like it could be a phrase. Without getting beat. Oh, tirelessly, right. So it doesn't mean without getting beat as in without getting defeated. It means without getting, oh, I'm beat, I'm tired. Okay. Said a mouse, say shrieked. You shriek when you see a mouse, potentially. Bull session. Corrida, this is bull running, maybe. As opposed to you read bull session and you think someone who's speaking nonsense or just just chatting or whatever, but I think it's referring to a literal bull, the animal. Comedian Eldjarn with the Netflix special Pardon My Icelandic. Well, I've never heard of this, unfortunately, but yeah, so it'll be a name, but I don't know what. I mean, Ari maybe, but I don't actually know if that's Icelandic. Himalayan resting place. I don't know, a barrow or something. I don't know. Sore subjects. So this looks like Sar, as in the suffix to dinosaur. What is that? Grebes? I mean, some birds are dinosaurs. Is a grebe a dinosaur? I have no idea what this is looking for here. Oh, maybe it's maybe it's something that goes before the suffix sor. Although that S there would make that slightly surprising. Princess with an LGBTQ cult following. Is it Elsa from Frozen? I'm not sure of. No, it couldn't be. That doesn't make any sense. Princess. I'm sure this will be obvious when I see it, but I'm just not sure off the top of my head. Chopper, a bike, a motorcycle. Place with a tree of immortality in the Quran, Eden. I'm fairly sure that's correct. Himalayan resting place. Not sure about that still. Nonsensical movement. Oh, this is Dada, and this is Xena, warrior princess. Okay, yeah, it's yeah, yeah, that is fair enough. I haven't thought about Xena in a long time. Probably not since the last time it was in the New York Times crossword, and then before that it would have been longer. Oh, T-Rexes. Right. Oh, okay. So it's just the name of a dinosaur unto itself. So I guess we're using sar in an even punnier way, where we're just using that suffix itself to refer to dinosaurs generally. Oh, so this is a cat bed, a Himalayan cat. That's a kind of cat. Okay, I think those are sort of long-haired cats. So this was Ari. Okay, Ari Eldjarn. Okay, I'm sure I'm not pronouncing that well at all, but there we go. To be host to is to I don't know. Okay, cause for alarm. Passed off as genuine. Foisted? You foisted it on somebody, you pass it off as genuine? I'm not certain this is correct, but let's try it. To's, oh, maybe it is, because to and fro is a phrase. And then por blank parte, moreover, in Spanish. Por otra parte? Otro or otra? I don't know if it's O or A here. I don't know. My guess would be A, but I don't know. Tries for. I'll leave that for now. Okay, super strong redhead of Kidlit. I don't know. Maybe I'll recognize it. Doesn't ring a bell. Jemison in the National Women's Hall of Fame. Mae Jemison, I think I recognize. But let's check the crosses. May I help you? Yes, you might ask. They signal a delivery. Labor pains, maybe? If someone pregnant is going into labor, labor pains could signal the need to deliver the child. Galaxy, e.g., smart phone. I think that's yeah. I've seen ads for Samsung Galaxy, which must be a smartphone. I thought maybe it was a tablet, but who knows? Twists are good for them. Abs, so you could exercise your abdominal muscles. And then super strong redhead of. Oh, is it Pippi Longstocking? Right. I never actually read those. I mean, I remember being aware of it when I was young, but yeah. Okay, cause for alarm. I'm not sure. And the singer is Sam. Still not recognizing this, unfortunately. Name on a Belgian brew. Interesting, I'm not sure. It'll be a beer, presumably, namesake. Where the composers Schubert, Berg, Schoenberg, and Webern were all born. Vienna, one of the great musical cities. First in line, usually. The eldest child, maybe? To be host to is to have, or have, save, live, hive, to be host to. None of these sound quite right to me. I could just not be thinking of them in the right sort of sentence. Cause for alarm would be peril, I suppose. If you're in peril, that's cause for alarm. That could be the case. Oh, Artois as in Stella Artois, the beer brand. Okay, there we go. Stella. To be host to, is it simply to have? Oh, Sam the Sham? I actually don't think I recognize that. Maybe somewhere in the recesses of my memory, but not strongly. It rhymes, which is why I think it might be the answer, Sam the Sham. tries for, aims at. Yeah, okay, that'll be right. So this is otra. There we go. That's what I wanted it to be. And there we go. Tricky Saturday puzzle. I would say, yeah, that was, I mean, at least for me, that was trickier than the average Saturday, probably. But yeah, let me know how you fared with that one. I'd be curious to know. So, I mean, right off the bat, we had some pretty tricky answers. I mean, lambed, certainly not a phrase most of us use very often, at least not, I don't have cause to. Aria da capo, that's a bit of fairly niche musical terminology. fMRI, I mean, even having remembered that this was something that would include the letters MRI, I mean, I recognize the F after I see it, but I wouldn't have gotten there without crossing it with something. Yeah, tough puzzle, I thought. Some Cornel West, there's another bit of specific knowledge. Choke artist, a phrase I didn't know, was fortunately able to infer, but yeah, tough one today. Let me know how you fared with this. I'm curious. It was certainly a Saturday crossword. It was no false advertising here. But there we go. I don't have time for the yesterday's clues today. Unfortunately, I'm on a very tight schedule. But I hope you enjoyed this, and I will be back tomorrow for the Sunday crossword, the big jumbo themed grid. So do join me for that. But until then, please do have an excellent remainder of your Saturday. Take care.